Our next piece is coming from Rathcroghan in Tulsk. In 2011, the Táin March was established in County Louth, and it has to do with the raid on Curley when Queen Medb went to bring back the bull to Connacht. But this year, the march is starting in Rathcroghan. So I went along to see Queen Medb and her army off to Curley to recreate the raid.
The Táin March is a festival that was established in 2011 in Dundalk and in Carlingford, County Louth, which seeks to recreate something of the spirit and I suppose the grandeur of a famous cattle raid that was made from Roscommon to Curley about the time of Christ.
This year it's coming from Rathcroghan back to Curley.
Yeah, the original Táin, as translated by people like Thomas Kinsella and others, is an epic story which was written down in the 7th century and purports to tell the tale of a cattle raid which in essence is talking about a rivalry between Connacht and Ulster, and the lead figures in that are Queen Medb and her husband Alil, who have a row, a domestic dispute. It's called the Pillow Talk, and about their various wealths, respective wealth. And it turns out that she is deficient in one regard, and that is that she hasn't got a bull who can match her husband's bull. So she seeks the loan of a bull from a herdsman in Curley who has the equal of Alil's bull. And unfortunately the loan request is refused, and of course the Queen cannot stand for this, so she gathers a large army and marches on Curley to take the bull.
She takes it and brings it back to Connacht.
She brings it back to here, to Tulsk in County Roscommon, and just outside Tulsk, north of it, on the Sligo Road, is the great royal site of Rathcroghan, or Cruchu as it's known in the ancient manuscripts, and she brings it back there. And when the brown bull of Curley, Dun Cúlainne, meets her husband's bull, who's called Finbenach, the white-flanked or white-horned, they start to fight, and they have this epic battle, and eventually Dun Cúlainne defeats and kills the Finbenach, and then he, with a broken heart in a sense, he returns to his homeland via Athlone and through Westmeath into Meath, up into True Louth and up into County Down, and he dies. So in effect there are actually three marches to be done, in a sense: the march of Queen Medb to Curley, the march of Queen Medb from Curley with the bull captive, and then the return of the brown bull to his homeland in Ulster.
You hope to recreate that in the future?
Yeah, this year is very much a big step up for the Táin March Committee, because for the first 3 years we recreated the march from Ardee in County Louth through Dundalk to Carlingford. This year we're actually starting in Tulsk here in Roscommon. We have a 250 kilometre route mapped out. We have the 27th Battalion of the Irish Armed Forces, an infantry battalion based in Dundalk, with us. They've sent a buin, or a troop of soldiers numbering 9, which would match the units of armies during the early Iron Age, late Bronze Age period, and they're going to march with us 30 kilometres a day.
Now there's a reason why the army are marching with you.
There is. The crest of the 27th Battalion is based on Cuchulainn, and it is based in Aiken Barracks in Dundalk, so it's very apt, as it were, that they have this connection with the Táin March, and they're using the event, of course, to keep their troops in trim, as it were. Some of them are doing specialist training for career advancement. Others are simply just doing this for the sheer joy of it, as it were, but as part of their daily routine to keep the armed forces fit.
If people want to find out more about this, perhaps for next year.
Yes, we have a website called tainmarch.net, spelled TAINMARCH. It's very colourful. There are lots of galleries of photographs from previous years. We are actively encourage people who want to do walking for charity, to raise funds. We are actively seeking them to come with us, even for a segment, to use the march for their fundraising. We're not fundraising ourselves. We're simply doing this for the sheer, believe it or not, joy of it.
A lot of preparation has gone into the Táin March this year.
Well, I mean, it was a case of trying to gravitate a lot of community bodies from across the island, across the Midlands and into the west here, in order to try and get a community trail, this Táin March, going together, all based around the Táin Bó Cúailnge, the cattle raid of Curley, and to celebrate it in a modern sense, especially considering the amount of great living story that's there.
Now this year is the first year to travel from Rathcroghan.
Indeed it is, yeah. Previously the Táin March group would have travelled within the confines of the county of Louth, and they thought that this would be the next step. And hopefully this year and next year, and with the extra coverage that we have, that we'll be able to launch it on a national and even international basis.
Is there great interest in it?
There's a huge amount of interest in it because it brings together communities from just people that are interested in history and archaeology. It brings people that are interested in the literature and just trying to keep the traditions of the past alive.
The fashion here today now is of a bygone time.
Oh, most definitely. It's a case of trying to see and understand and maybe think back as to what these people may have looked like once upon a time, and try and recreate it as best possible, with at least bloodshed involved as well.
Some people are very suitably attired.
Oh, hugely so. It's a case of people do make a huge effort with regard to these reenactments. They try and make it as accurate as possible, and even down to the hairstyles and the facial hair.
A wonderful day for Roscommon.
Of course, yeah. I mean, we are the location for the beginning and the end of this great story, and we should herald it as such. And I mean, within the confines of the archaeological complex of Rathcroghan, it's a no-brainer. This is hugely important for us.
Your Majesty, you fancy your chances over in Curley?
I do, yes. We have the stronger team, we're better prepared, and we have motivation. So I think we're going to win. Definitely.
And your bull is going to be much better than your husband's?
Yes, well, that's disputable because the bull was actually born in my herd and moved over to his. So both bulls technically could belong to me. So they're both good.
Woman power.
Woman power, definitely.